Take a look at this picture. What do you think we are going to talk about today in class? Don't worry, I will give you 10 seconds for you to think. Alright, so if you thought about sport, that's great. How interested are you in sports? Take a look at the next question. Do you find any sport boring? Does it matter to you if a particular team or player wins or loses? Personally, I am not that interested in sports. In other words, I don't find sports interesting. But it's fine. When I was in 5th year of high school, I failed PE, physical education, because I never went to class. That is embarrassing, I know, but this is life. We are going to read a text about sports. Take a look at the title. All you need is love and a scarf. I would like you to look at the text briefly. Read the title and the first paragraph. What do you think the text will be about? Don't worry, I'm going to give you 10 seconds for you to think. Well, probably you think that it will be about love for a sport, passion, or probably different kinds of sports. If we think of a question, probably it will analyze different kinds of behavior, attitude, or emotions towards sports. Let's read the text and see what it is about. Grown men with their faces buried in each other's shoulders or hidden behind shaken hands. Young mothers shouting in triumph. These are familiar sights at football grounds all over the world. But why do the fans care so much, and what does this kind of passion do to people? While the extreme emotions on display seem alien to those who don't share a passion for football, for dedicated fans, it is a perfectly normal way to behave. They would be prepared to go to almost any lengths to get their hands on a ticket for a crucial match, and many would turn up anyways, even without one. It might sound like madness, but as someone who once sold a car to finance a trip to see Arsenal play Barcelona, I completely understand their desperate desire to be part of it all. This kind of passion should be not confused with an obsession which can be self-destructive. There are those who live in a dream state, passionately in love with a famous actor or singer, someone they know they will never get the chance to meet in real life. And this inhibits their ability to form real relationships. However, there are also ordinary people, sensible parents, husbands, employees, and employers whose interests are much more healthy and straightforward. Their emotions are also linked to forces they cannot control, but far from causing damage, their passion is a positive one. Maybe some people are incapable of finding a passion, but if so, they are missing out. Passions are deep, full of joy and pain, teaching you how to sob when you feel hurt, how to react to a disappointment, how to sing with an enthusiasm in public. Because of them, you might end up hugging a complete stranger or making new friends. They help you to feel part of a community and have something to tease your neighbor about. They are a great way for families to bond together. Many dads claim that they are only spending their times fishing or playing chess because their child is keen, when actually they are delighted to share an activity which is removed from home, job, or money worries. For some reason, a passion can be switched on and off, which is better than not having a passion at all, I suppose. Witness the behavior that tennis brings about at the annual 2-week UK tennis tournament at Wimbledon. Calm, controlled, middle-aged women are suddenly prepared to camp overnight on damp pavements in London and squeal encouragement. Otherwise, cool, fashionable students are happy to wave at the TV cameras while wearing silly hats and sunglasses that spurt water. In the end, what defines us as human is not only language, it is the ability to care about something that does not directly affect our health, or wealth, or importance. Passions are a rehearsal for life, a distraction from boredom, and most of all, they are fun, even when they let you down. Have you ever had the opportunity to tease your neighbor because your favorite soccer team won? Well, I think that's very common in Mendoza province, the city where I come from. Sometimes when there is a competition or a match between River Plate and Boca Juniors, people start to tease one another. This is a common, like a classic soccer match. What do you think about the text? Are you passionate about one specific sport? In this reading, we are going to explore one part of the exam. This is called Reading Part 5, Multiple Choice. Take a look at the following question. It says, what is the writer's attitude towards football fans attending matches? So this is the typical question and multiple answers, or multiple choice. So you have in this case 4 different options. One of the strategies we are going to learn to use is to underline keywords. What are the keywords of this question? I will give you 5 seconds to think about the keywords for this question. Alright, so probably you underlined writers' attitudes, football fans, and if you take a look at each of the 4 options, probably you underlined the adjective impressed, surprised, embarrassed, sympathetic. There are other keywords there to take into account. Is it impression towards the behavior? Probably behavior should be underlined as well. Did you underline much money they spent? What about the word irresponsible? That may change the meaning. What about sympathetic to feelings? I'd like you to use this technique to underline the keywords in order to understand the text better, but also to keep focused on what you need to look at or search. At the beginning of this exercise, we learned one technique called skimming. When you skim the text, you read the title, you read the first paragraph to have an idea what the text is about, and sometimes you just take a look at the whole text all at once, but briefly. Sometimes you read just to have a general idea or an overall image of what the text is about. It will help you choose the best option. So if you think about the question that we have just reviewed, the first one, what is the writer's attitude towards football fans attending matches? Which of the 4 you would choose as the correct answer? She's impressed by their behavior. She's surprised by how much money they spent. She's embarrassed by how irresponsible they are. She's sympathetic to their feelings. Well, if you chose option D, that's the correct one. She's sympathetic to their feelings. If we read the text, we will realize that how much money they spend is not the focus of attention. Probably it's mentioned as one example to make an emphasis on. If you continue reading, probably we will find out that the attitude of the writer is not to criticize. It's not to say that these people are irresponsible or strange. If we pay attention to the first one, to be impressed about their behavior, by their behavior, probably we will realize that we don't find any kind of clue in the text in which the writer includes herself. Like, I am surprised by how they act, with an exclamation mark. Or, they are the best players of the world. Or, they are the most enthusiastic fans I have ever learned about. We don't have this kind of example, so we cannot come to the conclusion that she's impressed, because she keeps neutral. But at the same time, through the reading of the text, we know that she is sympathetic, as she mentions different kind of emotions. She gives different kind of examples. So, underlining the words, the keywords, may help us find the right answer. Skimming the text will help us have a general overall idea of what the text is about. Let's see if we can apply these two techniques to the rest of the questions. For each of the questions, I would like you to underline the keywords. After that, try to skim the text. And after the second step, the last one, choose the best option according to the underlined words that you have. Make a pause and take 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes to do this exercise. Alright, so let's see the solutions. For the second question, the right answer is C. The writer mentions people who live in a dream state in order to contrast different types of emotional attachments. For question number 3, the writer thinks having a passion is a good thing because the right answer is A. It helps people learn how to express their emotions. For question 4, what does the writer mean by thin on the ground in line 30? The correct option is B, something which occurs infrequently. For question number 5, the writer mentions Wimbledon to show that. The correct answer is C, sports fans can behave uncharacteristically. And for the last question, 6, what was the writer's purpose in writing this text? The correct option is D, to argue that a passion for sports provides an opportunity to experience highs and lows. Wow, after these lessons about sports, I'm pretty sure we are going to become more passionate about what we like to do. After all, having a passion is not bad. Actually, it helps, express our emotions.